Good morning, guys. Hey, Karen McIntosh. Hey, Ducky. I'm up a little late today. I could not sleep last night at all. I was like wired for sound in bed and I was tired. It was really weird. Just couldn't stop looking at Facebook. It's silly stuff that I didn't need to even be looking at, which was strange for me. I don't know why I was doing that. Okay, come on. Work with me, please, here, Facebook. Lately, I have been bad about posting to the business page, so I'm trying to do that correctly this morning, and it's not seeming to allow me to. What is going on here? I don't want that. Deal with that later. Anyways, I'm on today to do Monday's card. I'm sorry I'm late. Hey, Demetrius, how are you? I feel like yesterday was the harvest card, right? Or was supposed to be the beginning of the harvest card, like what we were supposed to be sort of manifesting, thinking about. I was definitely thinking about things that I want. And I'm pretty clear that I think I want out of Mexico. Like, I need something different. This isn't quite what I thought it was going to be. It's not that it's bad or horrible, but I'm missing something here. There's something not right about it. And so I'm working on trying to sell these places in Mexico and find my way out of here. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see. It could take a little while, which is making me a little bit nervous, which I'm trying not to think about that, or manifest that. So, but I think that the other scary part about all of this is I don't know what the next plan is for me. I don't know where I'm going, but I don't think that this was the dream that I thought it was going to be, if that makes any sense. It has sort of turned into something else that I wasn't expecting. And so it's not that it's bad, it's not that it's horrible, it's just a lot more work and a lot more effort than I feel energetically capable to give at times. Semana Santa was an interesting weekend. It was quite crazy, quite high energy. Everybody was very happy and it was lovely, but I did not feel connected to it at all. I actually felt repulsed by it. Not repulsed like disgusted, but repulsed like I didn't want to be a part of it. I wanted to be away from it. It was loud, it was obnoxious, it was, in my opinion, it wasn't actually loud and obnoxious. It was more my nerves, I don't know what, but my energy was not in line with it at all. And no matter what I did, I would go out and try and take walks and try and find the beauty in things. And I would a little bit here and there, but it was really hard to hold on to. So something's telling me that I think that I've overextended myself here in Mexico financially and mentally and all of these things. And I think that next steps are going to be about me trying to figure out what's going to happen. Hey, good morning, Kimberly McDonald. So that harvest card was kind of appropriate, I felt like, for yesterday, because I was definitely thinking about, okay, so what do I want in the long term? Where do I want to be? That's still really up in the air for me, but that's okay. Below says Florida. I have been thinking about Florida actually, because I think I want to be somewhere warm, but I've never really been to Florida except for Miami. And I wasn't really a huge fan of Miami. It was fun to go visit and play, but that's the problem. Like, so was Vallarta. And I came to Vallarta thinking, oh, Vallarta's great, because I was on vacation back and forth here and thinking it was like, making me feel good. And it really wasn't Vallarta. After you're hearing Vallarta for months at a time, you start to see it in a different light. Yes, it's a great town to come and play. Yes, it's a great town to come and relax. But to live in, it's different. It's a different experience day to day. And so I have to admit that like I think that I've made a mistake. Not that it's a bad one. I don't regret what I've done. I just need to sort of, um, as Abraham Hicks says, lay new pipes, lay new plans, start to get creative again. I think I've gotten a little bit bored here. Um, so I come to Jersey. Mary Acronina says, I don't know about Jersey. It's beautiful in the summer, but in the winters, I'm not sure if I can do snowy winters. The other factor in all of this is my dogs. I really want my dogs to have a place where I feel like they feel safe and that they can have plenty of space to be happy. And here I don't necessarily feel that. There's a lot of stray dogs in the neighborhood. There's not a lot of green spaces to take them to. Yeah, you can take them to the beach, but it's like chaos. There's just people everywhere, and my dogs don't listen very well. I would like just a quiet little park to take my dogs to, where I can keep eyes on them and let them run in grass. And these are things that I'm lacking here that I feel like would really feed my spirit and make me feel more calm. And I think that would also stop these 4 a.m. wake ups and this lack of sleep that I'm going through and the stressors and the things that I've been experiencing personally. So Karen says, I understand my time here in Cheesehead Factory, Wisconsin is over. Sometimes we need a change. Sometimes we need to shake it up. So right now I'm thinking about that harvest card in the beginning. And also that chariot card from last week. It's about making a big decision and sort of sticking with it and then letting the forward moving motion sort of carry you through. And so, I'm going to sort of reflect on that some more and try and refine that idea. And not necessarily so much refine the idea of where I'm going to go just yet, as much as refine the idea of going, and making that possible. My big fear right now, which I shouldn't even entertain, is that real estate can sit on the market for a very long time here in Mexico. So what I'm trying to manifest and think positive about is that some developer is going to come in and buy these properties because they're right next to one another and maybe develop them, or, so that's a very easy transaction that happens quickly. And before I know it, I'm free. I also think that I think what I'm learning too is I don't necessarily like being a homeowner. Is it the 4 a.m. wake up callings? Is it angel callings? I believe that it is spirit calling me. I believe it was spirit calling me, telling me, like, get up, something's not right. And I have been meditating a whole lot more, both morning and night. The meditations do bring me peace and calm, but they also bring up sort of desires, and some of my desires are not being met here. Like, I want to be, in love at some point. I want to be safe. I want to be secure. I want a simple, happy, content life. And I don't think that I get that here. Mexico has an energy about it that is very exciting and thrilling and sort of adventurous and all over the place, which can be fun. And in the first few months of trying to be involved in it and work within it, it's definitely challenging, and that challenge is fun. But I'm 10 months in, and now the challenge, I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of tired. So, and owning a home, now I own 2 here, which is like, I don't even know. I thought, I'll Airbnb one, and then I will live in the other, and then the Airbnb got broken into, and things started happening. There was just some things that I just feel a little bit more out of my control that I'm not comfortable with. So I don't know. That's where I'm at this morning. That's why I'm a little bit late to the reading this morning, to see the energy for Monday, April 22nd. But we're going to shuffle the cards and get a look as a collective group. The intention is to shuffle the cards and get a look at the energy of the collective group of what we might be experiencing today. So I'm going to act as spiritual forecaster for the day of Monday, April 22nd, to see what we can expect and how we can interact. Please like and share, follow my personal page so you can see what I'm on. Like my new YouTube channel, my new YouTube channel. Sorry, not enough coffee. Don't mind my dogs, like coughing up spittle in the background. They're bulldogs. So with the shuffle today, I don't feel a whole lot of resistance, which is good. I mean, it just feels sort of normal to me. It feels like things are going to get accomplished kind of in a very normal fashion, which is nice. Although I feel like, for me personally, lately, I've been having, um, you know, getting things accomplished feels a lot harder than normal. But for the group as a whole, it feels like there's a slight amount of resistance, but there's not a ton. Oh, great. The card we have today is the Hanged Man. And so it's funny that I was just talking to you guys all about my, let me just show you this, all about my issues about whether or not I stay or I go. I feel like this card applies to me, and it may apply to some of you out there too. I hope that it does. I hope this isn't just about my energy today, but the hangman is always sort of stuck between two sort of situations, or feeling stuck, maybe when you're not actually, but being sort of having a hard time making a clear decision on a situation that could be rather serious. At least that's how I feel like in this deck when I look at this picture. I do see that there, for some of you, this card might represent holding space for somebody that you love that might be feeling stuck to you. They might be feeling stuck in a personal sort of situation, or how do I want to put this, like, sort of nicely? They might be stuck in a sort of a pattern or a behavior that's not serving them, that's harming not only them, but it's also their pain is harming you. To me, it feels like, regardless of all of this, however this card affects us, it's been a long journey with whatever this is that we're looking at. It feels like we've been looking at it for some time. We've been dealing with it for some time, and we might be even a little bit tired by it. It does feel like it's gonna, I kind of feel like the darkness of the card, or the direness of the card, is gonna force us to sort of shit or get off the pot, if that makes any sense. Like it is, in some essences, I believe that the Hangman is a good card, because sometimes it sort of forces us to make a decision and believe in ourselves enough that we have to push forward. For those of us that are holding space for somebody else that we believe that needs to make a decision, it's also a very powerful card, because it teaches us to sort of hold space for someone and allow them to have their process without getting too involved, and trusting that they have their path, their intuition, their free will, and acknowledging that and giving them that. Does that make sense? So and also I have to say this too. This card is wrapped up in a lot of past stuff. You guys, let's not wrestle right now, please. There's like, and the reason why I say this, there's a few broken pieces of dishware around in the art of the photo, and it's making me think of, this is bringing up old emotions, whatever it is that we're looking at, whatever it is we're dealing with, whatever it is the decision we feel stuck by. It's bringing up old emotions or old feelings or old things that we were told, that maybe were told to us from a place of love or caring, but to protect us, so to speak. But they might be limiting us or holding us back, or outdated, if that makes any sense. So I think that when I look back to yesterday's reading, which was like sort of the energy for the overarching week, we have this Nine of Worlds, which is harvest, right? Which is where we're planting the seeds in the beginning of the week to sort of decide what it is we want to bring in for the future, right? This Hanged Man card to me seems like further sort of discernment of that. Some of us have a decision on our hands to make, right? A very big decision. It might feel scary. It might feel like, even life-threatening at some points, or anxiety-inducing. For me, sometimes it does. I don't know about any of you out there, but if you are out there, I want to validate that for you. And for those of you that are holding space for others and watching them possibly harm themselves, or choose situations that aren't working for them, or that you think are better for them, or that you think would be easier for them, I think it's almost just as much of a challenge for you to sort of step back and just hold space and love them from where they are, right? and allow them their process. I think that part of this is as we do that, though, as we make those decisions or we discern what is working and what is not working for both ourselves and others, and we allow our own process and we allow them their process, we actually are sowing those seeds for that harvest card that we saw yesterday, right? We don't necessarily understand that the decisions that we make, how they will affect us down the line. And so I feel like the Hanged Man is a powerful card in the sense that it's showing us there's what is it? Abraham Hicks has something about that. I've said this before about you kind of know what you don't want. You know what you do, but you know what you do want by knowing what you don't want. And so sometimes we need to go through some of what we don't want to figure out what it is that we do want, to get clearer on where it is we want to be in our life. And I think that that's how the Hangman presents itself to us. Is sometimes we may feel stuck, or we may see those around us that we love that feel stuck, and we want to help them, but we kind of have to let them. Have their process and just love them, hold space for them, and love them, and if it feels risky, if it feels like they could really, lose sight of themselves or whatever, we're just going to have to trust in their higher power and in their process and in their self-will their spirit, that they're going to see their way through this. And if they don't, for any reason, then there's a reason for that too. We have to trust that. So I think that this Hanged Man is the further deepening of this harvest card of picking through the seeds and deciding, okay, which ones are we planting and which ones are we letting go? Which ones are we holding on to and which ones are we allowing them to have? Remember, I just want to say as a reminder, leading into the midweek, which could be, we could be in this Hangman harvest energy for the next few days, right? We have that Empress card coming up, and she's a position of power. I feel like the Empress, actually, now that I'm looking at this aspect of holding space for ones we love, the Empress is very compassionate, but the Empress also keeps her space. She's like, I'm the Empress, and I will be treated as such, So we have that Empress card coming midweek, and I've been thinking about her too, especially laying in bed this morning, because when I want to get caught up in my fear about what if this happens, what if that happens, what if that happens, I need to remind myself that of that energy of the Empress card. Like by midweek, I should have the clarity, I should have the intuition, the creativity, the compassion, the ability to have clear boundaries and see the things that need to be addressed in the order that they need to be addressed and address them correctly. And so that energy is still possible for us unless we all go off the deep end today. Which that happens too sometimes, but let's hope that doesn't, right? That's why I do these dailies after doing the weekly, because I want to see sort of how we transpire from day to day through our week and see if the energy does shift for us as a group. So that's my reading for today. Please don't take it any way other than a decision is needing to be made. And it's funny too, because I felt like that Chariot was about a big decision too. So, and then we got, we had the stagnation card at the end of the week, which was supposed to be ecstasy on that Sunday. So maybe some of us didn't get around to making a clear enough decision, myself included, last week like we were supposed to. Maybe we're wavering back and forth. I'm a Pisces. I have a tendency to swim in both directions. So it's a big problem of mine, and it sets up more mental confusion for me than I probably need. But maybe there's some of you out there that can relate to that. But this Hanged Man definitely is challenging us to look at our situation and free ourselves from it. Start to realize, I would go back to that harvest card from yesterday and start to realize that what we're doing today, what we're planting today, how we're perceiving today, how we're interacting with today is what we are manifesting and is what we are growing in our lives. So we don't want to remain stuck. We don't want to remain feeling, and if somebody around us that we care about deeply is stuck, we might just have to allow them to have that process. We can love them and still allow them that process and have faith that hopefully they will find their way out of that. Okay, I hope that makes sense, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, Anywhere that you see fit, please don't abuse any group rules and put it anywhere it doesn't belong. But it helps me to get the word out. I do personal readings. If you're interested in booking, all my information is pinned to the video page. On YouTube, it's all in the About Me page. It's usually done over Facebook video or over the phone, 1 hour reading. It's very easy to book. And this is how this is my dream. This is what I want to do for a living. And so every morning when I get up and I feel sluggish and I'm like, no, I don't want to do this, or no, you only had 4 viewers yesterday, or no, this, I have to not let that get me into that position of the hanged man. I have to continue on and have faith that if this is where I feel the best and this is what I want to be doing, then this is what I should be pursuing. So with your guys' help, the fact that you're even here every morning gives me hope. And I really appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope you guys go out and have a great day. And remember, every seed that you plant today is harvestable for a better and brighter future. Okay? And remember, we have that fortune card for the end of the week. So hopefully we find our way through this darker bit of hangman energy to help refine ourselves into a more positive space for later this week. All right. Have a good day. Bye.